I love watching videos that show you what it's like to live in a certain city, but I feel like they're always done by kids just out of college and focus mostly on food and bar scenes. So here's a year in my life as someone pushing 30 who doesn't eat out a lot and lives just outside of DC. I'm a big Ben Rector fan, and when I heard he was doing a collaboration with the National Symphony Orchestra, I just had to go. It was at the Kennedy Center and super cool. I try to go to 2 or 3 Caps games a season because I come from a hockey family and it's the only sport I feel like I can watch and not fall asleep. And fortunately, this time around, I was able to go via my company's box. In March, I drove up to Pennsylvania to catch my brother playing in a college hockey tournament, but other than that, it was a pretty low-key month, so here's Peter playing with his St. Patrick's Day dog. Cherry blossom season is a huge deal in DC. I tend to skip it these days, but I did run the Cherry Blossom 5K. The weather got a lot nicer in May, so we spent a lot of time at dog parks. This is Amazon's HQ2, and we did a road trip up to New York for my brother's college graduation, so Peter got a lot more playtime with my family's dogs. In June, we had a trip to Washington State planned. We flew my brother down, picked him up at Reagan by the metro, and then he drove with us to Dulles so he could take the car back and stay with Peter for the week while we were on vacation. We saw Matt Nathanson and Matchbox 20 at Jiffy Lube Live, which is a venue in like the middle of nowhere, Northern Virginia. 2 out of 10 recommend that venue, just a pain to get to. We also attended a wedding at the Army Navy Country Club. I was super sick most of August, but I rallied to do our friend group's annual trip to Harper's Ferry to go tubing. Something I really love about living in the DC metro area are the number of well-maintained trails and waterfront parks. I ended up on the Mount Vernon Trail biking a lot of September and spending time down in Alexandria by Old Town. October was a huge running month for me. I ran the Army 10-miler, which goes in and out of Arlington and DC, as well as the 10K race of the Marine Corps Marathon, which pretty much the same route. That was probably my favorite memory from 2023 because I finished and then I immediately ran to the Roslyn Metro and bounced around in DC to track my husband who was running the 50K. I spent a lot more time on the Mount Vernon Trail again in November, and I had a flight out of Reagan that got delayed because the president was flying at the same time, so they grounded us. And lastly, we saw Taylor Tomlinson's Netflix recording at the Capital One Hall in Tysons. December was a little bit chaotic, but we were super happy to pack up and move locally to a new apartment.